back to my YouTube channel. So today I'll be talking about the full moon on the 1st of August. It's a super full moon and it's occurring in the sign of Aquarius. Now, before I begin with that, I just want to thank everyone for your support, for your comments, your likes, your subscription to my channel. It really means a lot. So really thank you from the bottom of my heart. And for those who have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do, because that's going to help me grow my channel. So thank you once again, everybody. Now, this full moon that occurs on the 1st of August in the sign of Aquarius will be at about 9 degrees Aquarius, roughly 9 degrees. So if you have planets or angles, say between like 6 degrees on either side, so about like 4 to 14 degrees in a fixed sign, then this full moon will be, you will feel the effect of this full moon a little bit more personally, more significantly. Now, all the fixed signs, which are Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio, these are the fixed signs. So if you have planets, personal planets, and angles, so just look at those aspects, how it's going to affect you. Now, obviously, the house matter, wherever the Aquarius sign sits in your chart, that is the area that comes in spotlight during this full moon. Now, it is Leo season, so Sun is in the Leo sign, which is the opposite sign to Aquarius. So Sun is in the sign of Leo on one side and Moon on the other side in the sign of Aquarius. So that's how a full moon is formed. Sun and Moon in opposition, Sun illuminating the Moon. Now, this full moon is quite close to the Earth, so it's going to be a super full moon because it's closer to the Earth, so it appears bigger. Now, when an energy like Moon is so close to the Earth, it's going to affect us on Earth even more significantly, because the phases of the moon really has effect on human beings on Earth, and not just human beings, just overall planet. The water, the tides, the ocean, and the water in our body as well is affected due to moon. So it really does have an effect. The moon phases really does have an effect on us human beings. Now, it being so close is going to affect even more significantly. Now, it is in the sign of Aquarius. Now, what is Aquarius? Aquarius is the 11th sign of the zodiac. It's the water bearer of the zodiac. It's an air sign and it's a fixed air sign. So Aquarius is focused on innovation. It's focused on humanity, philanthropy, the world, the masses, the people. It's a very radical sign. It's the reformer of the zodiac. So it's a very revolutionary. The energy is very revolutionary. If you have strong Aquarius in your chart, you have this tendency to connect with group, collective, to bring about change. Now, Aquarius is ruled by Saturn traditionally and Uranus in modern astrology. So Saturn is this karmic energy. It's the lord of time. And Uranus is this revolutionary, radical energy. Now, Saturn here as a ruler of Aquarius, it's not like as it is the ruler of Capricorn. With Capricorn, it's more focused on work. It's more focused on, a reputation, image, responsibility, burdens of life and all that. In Aquarius, it's a little bit more free because Aquarius is an air sign. So here Saturn is able to, plan and bring the collective in the mix to achieve something. Now, Uranus is obviously this radical, sudden, electrifying energy that wants to change things, fast. So that's it. Aquarius has this innovative side to it, thinking outside the box and wanting to bring a radical change. Now, Leo on the other side, where the sun is during this full moon, is the opposite sign of Aquarius. Now, Leo is mostly focused on leading. It's mostly focused on personal passion. It's focused on self-expression, self-actualization. It's focused on things that stem from heart center. It's very personal where Leo is concerned. Aquarius is more focused on the collective, on people at large, the masses and all that. So here again, there is this dynamic of self-expression focused on passion that arises from the heart center, and Aquarius is bringing that energy out in the collective. So whatever your personal passion is, personal energies, personal skills, capabilities, all that, you're bringing it out into the collective, sharing it with the people, sharing it with the masses, really, whatever your energies are, really whatever your passions are, whatever your interests are, whatever your skills, capabilities, talents are, you are really bringing out into the domain of the collective. Now, a full moon is a time of culmination. It's a time of fulfillment. is a time of reflection, revelation, readjustment, reassessment, and all that. Now here, a full moon in Aquarius is going to bring this energy to the Aquarius. Now, wherever your Aquarius sign sits, that's where the energy will be amplified. So this Aquarius full moon is going to be about reflecting on your own energies and how you make a difference in your own unique, special way. So how you have made a change or difference in the world, and not just world as an outside world, but also your own world, your own surrounding, your own self as well. What difference have you made, and what difference you would like to make, the changes that you would like to make, the shift that you would like to bring about. Now, full moon is a time of culmination. It's a time of completion to whatever that was started in the last 6 months during the new moon in Aquarius. But it's not just about completion. It's also about seeing what you have done until now, reflecting on it and making changes if you feel there's a need to make changes and bring that shift in energy. So here we are bringing a shift in our collective conscience. We are bringing a shift in our group activities, in our collaboration, friend circle, any kind of stuck energies that there might be in wherever Aquarius sign sits in your chart. That's where we are bringing this change. So it's a very important full moon. Now, there will be 2 full moons in the month of August. The first one is the Aquarius super moon, and then there would be another full moon at the end of the month in the sign of Pisces. So this is the first one in the month of August, and it's very crucial because it really brings our contribution in our own unique, special way, how an individual can make a difference to the collective conscience. So this is very important, a super full moon. Now, this full moon will be squared by Jupiter in the sign of Taurus. Now, Jupiter moved in the sign of Taurus in May and will be in the same sign for a year. And it's aspecting this Aquarius full moon on 1st of August. Now, Jupiter is a planet. It's a very benefic energy. It's a very generous, expansive, optimistic, enthusiastic, growth-oriented energy. It's about wisdom, spirituality, knowledge, learning, and all that. And it's in the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus is a sign that is associated with money. It's associated with wealth, possession, our senses. It's our sense of security, stability, our value system, our comfort, and all that. So Jupiter in here is amplifying all the Taurian quality. Now, with Jupiter squaring the full moon, there can be some sort of over-enthusiastic energy associated with this, the realization of this full moon. So wherever your Aquarius sign sits, wherever you're reflecting, wherever you are making changes, bringing a shift and all that, this Jupiter will bring a sense of enthusiasm, over-optimism, maybe also overestimating oneself. And now it is in the sign of the money, which is Taurus. There could be a need to either overspend or oversave. So it's very important to find a balance with Jupiter, because Sun and Moon is on either side and Jupiter is in the middle, squaring the Sun and Moon. So it's very important to find a middle ground and not overspend or oversave. Now, Jupiter in Taurus is also about value system, our sense of self-worth. So it's a good time to watch for any kind of excess. Now, this excess is not just in money matters, also your sense of self-worth. Are you putting your sense of self-worth, your value, how you value yourself on the basis of how much you have or how much you own or what you own? If that's the case, there's a need to shift your perspective to your own individual uniqueness, because that's the meaning of Aquarius. What makes you unique? What makes you unique? What makes you stand out? How you can contribute that special quality that you have, that uniqueness, into the collective to bring about a reform or a change, to shift the energies. So full moon is a very emotional time because it deals with moon and it is our emotional state. So there's a need to bring awareness to our emotional and physical body during this time. And do watch out for, mood changes during this time. There may be a tendency to react emotionally, especially if your feelings, buried feelings, are triggered. So definitely that's important too. Now, just to add to this whole mix, is the Venus in the sign of Leo. Now, that's where the sun is during this time. Now, Venus is in the sign of Leo in a retrograde motion during this full moon. Now, Venus is not making any aspect to the full moon, but the energy is still there because it's in the opposites, because it's on that fixed axis of Leo and Aquarius. So here the healing energy is amplified, the heart healing energy is amplified, relationship, money matters, value system, all that is also going to come in the mix. So there's a need to heal your heart during this time as well by recognizing your uniqueness. Now I will go through all the 12 zodiac sign, and we'll talk about how the full moon in Aquarius on the 1st of August is going to affect each of the 12 zodiac signs. So let's begin.
Hello Aries, for you the Aquarius full moon on the 1st of August occurs in your 11th house. Now Sun, it will be in the sign of Leo in your 5th house. So your 11th and 5th house axis is in focus during this full moon. Now 11th house is the house of friendship, social groups, your aspirations, your hopes and wishes and all that. So here the matters related to this house will be illuminated. Now full moon is a time of culmination. It's a time of fulfillment, gratification, also a time of reflection and reassessment and readjustment. So here definitely there is a need to look into matters related to 11th house. Now Sun is in the 5th house, so that's your personal passion, your personal projects, your love matters, your inner child, your children related matter and all that. So this axis is definitely illuminated. Now it is Leo season, so 5th house matter is already in focus for you Aries, but during this full moon, especially the 11th house matter comes to focus. It's illuminated, so there's a need for awareness regarding 11th house matter. So you can experience some kind of ending in a group project or a group association, maybe a friend circle or a collaborative kind of arrangement or a teamwork may be coming to an end during this time. So your focus is going to be a lot on these relationship as well, the relationship dynamic in a group setup. Now you could be walking away from a group as well during this time, or you may be joining a new group, or belonging, getting a sense of belonging in a group as well. So definitely this is a great time to connect with like-minded people and also reflect on your place in the society and your group setup, your association, your community. So don't second guess your dreams and wishes during this time, and really share them and work towards achieving them. Now Jupiter is in your 2nd house in the sign of Taurus and will be squaring this full moon. So just watch out for any kind of excess, because 2nd house is a house of money and your value system. So here there may be some kind of over optimism or over enthusiasm, and there can be a tendency to excess as well. So definitely it's a good idea to really regulate your mood during this time, because full moon is kind of an emotional time, and there can be emotional reaction or impulses. You could be reacting something out of your feelings, or really emotionally reacting to something in friendship circle or group circle, or group association, or your community and all that. So just watch out for that, and just regulate yourself, and you definitely will have the opportunity to connect with like-minded people and really achieve your hopes and wishes going forward, Aries. Thank you. Hello Taurus. Now for you the Aquarius full moon occurs in your 10th house. Now 10th house is the house of career matters. Now Sun is going to be in the sign of Leo in your 4th house, in the opposite house to the 10th house. So your 10th house and 4th house axis is illuminated during this Aquarius full moon on the 1st of August. Now 4th house is the home and family dynamic, and 10th house is a career dynamic. Now during Leo season, your focus is a lot on home and family matters, but during this full moon on 1st of August, the focus shifts mostly to your career matters, because something will be illuminated in your career matter, and you will have to reflect and readjust where your professional goals, your life direction, your ambitions and all that is concerned. There may be some kind of situation with authority figure as well during this time. So just create more awareness, because career and life direction will definitely be in focus during this time. Now you may get noticed as well, or you may gain attention from authority figures, or just people around. Your image, your reputation may be affected during this time. Now this effect can be either way. It can be good or bad, depending on how you function and the past efforts that you have been putting in. So you may get noticed during this time, you may get promotion, you may be in demand a lot during this time. So this is not a time to hide yourself, Taurus. Do promote yourself, put yourself out there, and don't shy away from limelight, because 10th house is illuminated for you. So your reputation, your new career direction, all that is definitely going to be very fulfilling as well if you take those steps to move those things forward. So this is a good time to evaluate any commitment, especially professional commitment, and any long-term goal. And be mindful of your reputation, definitely, because that can get affected in a good or a bad way. So definitely focus on that as well. Now, Jupiter is in your first house, in sign of Taurus, in your house. So here it's going to square the full moon in your 10th and 4th house. So your element, yourself, is squaring your career and home matters. So here there may be a tendency to overestimate yourself, or have overconfidence, or just kind of over stretch yourself as well, because you are feeling so positive, and you may think that you can achieve or do anything without doing the thinking. So definitely this is a good time to reflect on your own qualities, how you project yourself, how you process your thinking, your outlook, mindset, and all that, and apply it in a more grounded and well-rounded way, where your career matter and your home matters are concerned, Taurus. Thank you. Hello, Geminis. For you, the Aquarius full moon on the 1st of August will occur in your 9th house. Now, 9th house is a house of adventure, it's a house of expansion, it's a house of higher knowledge, your belief system, your faith, spirituality, and all that. Now, Leo is the sign where the sun is. This is Leo season, so your 3rd house is definitely in focus during the Leo season. But during this August full moon on the 1st of August, the 9th house is in focus, it's in the limelight. So there is a desire for connecting with your spiritual side. There's a desire for adventure, expansion, exploration, and all that. Now this can be a mental or physical exploration. So you may physically maybe traveling somewhere or wanting to travel, or it could just be expanding your perspective, your knowledge, and all that. So this is good time to grow your perspective, understand different people's viewpoint, connect with different kind of people as well, and realize how your beliefs affect you as a person and also your surrounding. So definitely it's a good time to really connect with your inner values, your inner belief system, and your just look at your perspective as well in terms of how it affects others and yourself. So it's a great time to really go within and make some readjustments or reflection, and something may come to kind of an understanding during this time, especially where your belief system is concerned, Geminis. Now this is also a good time to finish a study program or a writing project, because 9th house is the house of publishing and writing projects and all that. So definitely it's a great time to finish maybe you started something a while back, and this is a time when you're probably finishing it, or you're getting a better understanding how to move forward with whatever you're studying or whatever you're writing. Now this is a good time to really grow yourself mentally, any mental pursuits where you can connect your mind, body, spirit for higher understanding of life, people, situations surrounding it, so and all that is definitely going to be beneficial, Gemini. Now it's a good time to also trust your intuition, your gut instinct as well, and not just be dependent on your logical or rational thinking, Geminis. So definitely dig deeper and really grow yourself in terms of mentally and spiritually as well. Now 9th house is also the house of legal matters, so there may be some kind of legal matters coming to completion during this time. So that could be the case as well. But you definitely will be feeling very adventurous. You are very open to learning, and you want to expand your worldview, and you're open to new ideas and really want to broaden your imagination during this time, Geminis. Now Jupiter is in the sign of Taurus in your 12th house and will be squaring the full moon. So the sun and the moon in Aquarius and Leo. this Jupiter is going to be squaring it. Now, Jupiter is all about wisdom and expansion and growth and all that. Now, with this Jupiter in 12th house squaring the full moon, there may be a kind of a sense of pursuing spirituality, and you may be overdoing it during this time. So just be, mindful of not withdrawing from daily life and, not withdrawing from people, because your perspective will change and you will have better understanding of things when you connect with people, and your spiritual side will grow when you connect with people. And this is going to happen through a sense of justice and through a sense of honesty as well, because Jupiter is all about growth and wisdom and honesty, and it's a benefic energy, so it's about optimism and all that. So definitely it's important to understand your spiritual side, your religious side, but don't overdo it during this time, because that can lead you to on path that may not really align with your belief system and values. So do look deeply into what you are trying to connect yourself with spiritually, and don't go overboard in terms of the spiritual and religious inclination that you may have during this time. Thank you. Hello, Cancer. Now, for you, the Aquarius full moon occurs in your 8th house. Now, 8th house is a house of intimacy. It's a house of shared resources, shared values. It's a house of social finance, debts, repayment of debts as well. It's a house of transformation and, death and rebirth. So when full moon, which is all about culmination and realization and illumination, awareness, occurs in your 8th house, this is a time to really transform some aspect in your life. Now the sun will be in your 2nd house, where the Leo sun is opposing this full moon. So here again, this 2nd house energy is definitely important for you during this time, Cancer. The money aspect is definitely important, your value system is definitely important, but during this full moon on the 1st of August, there's a special focus on your 8th house matter, which is shared resources, other people's resources, the support you have from other people, the psychological effect other people have on you. All these matters are definitely at the forefront. So here something will transform in your life, and there's a need to transform something in your life, Cancer, especially if it's weighing on you, if it's burdensome. Definitely there's a need to release any unhealthy patterns and liberate yourself from anything that is keeping you stuck, Cancer. So definitely it's a good time to pay off a debt. Maybe if you are trying to pay off a debt, this is a good time to do that. Or you may also be kind of helping others financially as well, maybe a family member or somebody who may need, and if you can help, this could be a good time to help them out as well. So do repay debt if you can. Now 2nd and 7th house is the money axis, so the money aspect, the wealth aspect, your earnings and other people's earning in your life is definitely in limelight during this time. So any security issues may arise as well, or any kind of intimacy issues as well. Now intimacy can be physical intimacy or even can be psychological intimacy due to your resources or support system that you have in life. If you're not happy with the dynamic, there may be a need to release some kind of situation in your life during this time. So definitely there can be issues related to other people's money as well during this time. So definitely if you can clear all that out and have a plan, then definitely do that during this time. And you could also get a long-term loan or credit during this time as well. If you want to apply for a loan, this could be a good time to apply and you may get some kind of help. So do evaluate what you own with others during this time. So your shared resources, shared aspect, joint money and all that is definitely important to look into those. Now Jupiter is in the sign of Taurus during this time and will be squaring the full moon. So Taurus is your 11th house, which is the house of group association, friendship circle and all that. So here there may be some kind of overestimation or excess energy where your money matters and your friend circle is concerned. Maybe you are spending more, you're indulging more and all that, and you may be losing out on money during this time or spending too much. So just be careful of that energy here, Cancer. And overall it's a great time to really evaluate your value system, your shared value system, and any kind of need for security and stability there might be in your life, Cancer. Thank you. Hello, Leo. Now, for you, the Aquarius full moon occurs in your opposite house, in your opposite sign. So that's going to be your seventh house of relationship. Now, Sun is in your house. This is your season, Leos. So it's in your first house. So your seventh and first house axis is illuminated during this full moon in the sign of Aquarius on the 1st of August. Now, relationship, business partnership, contracts, negotiations, one to one interaction, social interaction, and all that are in focus during this time. Now, full moon is a time of illumination, culmination, release, reflection. So, here you are reflecting over relationship, you are evaluating relationship and looking at what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So if there are any kind of energies regarding relationship or partnership, business partnership or personal partnership that is not working for you, is unhealthy, this is a good time to really look deeper into it and release anything that's keeping you stuck, Leos. So it's a good time to walk away or bring a deeper understanding within your relationship. So if you want to redefine it and work on it, this is really a good time to go deeper and understand your own needs and needs of others in a relationship dynamic. Now this can be a business relationship or personal, either way. So it doesn't have to be romantic or spousal only, but seventh house does deal with a significant other, somebody important in your life during this time. Now your relationship is definitely in the spotlight, so you could be also taking a new relationship to a next level, or starting a connection, or starting a new relationship, a committed relationship, or you may be moving it together, or deciding to move together, or reflecting on the possibility of taking any connection to the next level. And this can be business relationship as well. Maybe you are getting into a business partnership and you want to take that to the next level. So definitely that's also possible, because there will be intense feeling for someone during this time, Leos. So do accommodate others' needs and feelings with your own during this time. So find a balance at the end of the day with your own self, your own life direction, because Leo sun is in your first house. So you're definitely, focus on self as well, but, balance it with other people's needs and feelings as well. Now, a good way to do that is, finding a middle ground, definitely, especially if there are any conflicts or disagreements, Leos. Now, Leo, Jupiter is in the sign of Taurus, and that is your 10th house of career matters. Now, this Jupiter in a Taurus is going to be squaring the full moon in Leo Aquarius axis. So your 10th house matter and your 7th house and first house matter are at square during this time. Now, Jupiter is a great benefic, so it brings wisdom and knowledge and spirituality to wherever it goes. It also brings growth and expansion. So here, in a challenging aspect with the full moon, it can be a very emotional time, especially you may be kind of at a crossroad where your relationship is concerned, your relationship with yourself is concerned, and your career matters, how your reputation, your image, your public persona, and your life direction is shaping. So all that definitely is at a kind of a challenging aspect. So there may be over enthusiasm or overestimation of your career prospects, and it might be kind of squaring or kind of challenging your relationship during this time. So definitely it's important to find a middle ground, put in equal effort, and find a kind of a way to accommodate other people's feeling with your feelings, and balance it with your career prospects, your career aspirations, and all that, Leos. Thank you. Hello, Virgos. Now, Virgos, for you, the Aquarius full moon on the 1st of August occurs in your 6th house, and the sun will be in the sign of Leo, which will be your 12th house. So your 6th house and 12th house axis is illuminated during this Aquarius full moon. Now, 6th house is a house of your work and health matters. It's a house of your routine, your habits, your work environment, work condition, work colleagues, and all that. So when a full moon occurs in your 6th house, this is a time of reflection or culmination or readjustment where your 6th house matter is concerned. So here there could be some kind of ending to an health issue or a bad habit. So if you have some kind of bad habit regarding your work or health situation, this is a good time to put an end to it. Now, 12th house is a house of your subconscious pattern. It's a house of, past patterns, your past events, need for isolation, alone time, and all that. And 6th house is a very busy house, a very productive house. It's a everyday activity house. So here the axis is definitely in focus. So here there's a need to balance your energy, especially if you are overstressing yourself or overworking. This is a good time to find a balance, some rest and all that. But during this full moon, there is definitely a need to release any health issues or any, bad habits related to work or health patterns. So if you're taking too much work, overextending yourself, extra shift, overtime and all that, this is a good time to release any kind of habits that's not good for you. Also in terms of your health and food habits. So if you are eating unhealthily because you're stressed and all that, this is a good time to release those and really, focus on your health as well, and eat healthy, exercise, all that. Take care of yourself during this time, Virgos. Now you may also be changing your job during this time, or just changing your working condition, or there could be some kind of change in, among the work colleague and all that. So definitely a work situation can be affected during this time, or there might be a strong desire within you to quit a job as well, because you're just feeling kind of dissatisfied during this time. Or there could be an ending to a work project, something that you have started in the past may be coming to a culmination during this time. Now also, sixth house is a mundane house, so it's to do with your daily activities. So there may be some kind of routine, daily routine that you may not be satisfied with, which you want to change during this time. So definitely it's a good idea to look into it and organize yourself as well, and bring some order into your life, Virgos, and really, make these changes, bit by bit at a time. Don't just make all the changes at the same time. And also focus on your mental health, on relaxation and taking a break as well, Virgos. Now Jupiter is in the sign of Taurus in the 9th house, and will be squaring the full moon in the 6th and 12th house axis for you, Virgos. So Jupiter in 9th house is kind of in its own house, because 9th house is a natural Sagittarius house and Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So it's in a kind of a good place, but it's squaring your 6th and 12th house. So you may be traveling during this time, or, really be over optimistic, very enthusiastic as well regarding your spirituality or religious, aspect and all that. And that maybe really could be stressing you or affecting your daily routine. Maybe you're changing a daily habit because you have changed your perspective, or you see world differently, and that's what is making you change what you normally would do. So just be careful, because Jupiter is squaring the full moon. So any kind of changes could be just due to, overestimating a certain viewpoint, and you may not have, really looked deeply into it. So just be careful you're not changing your life and habits because of some new perspective in a foreign land, or a foreign perspective, or just something that you're not used to, you haven't experienced before, Virgos. Thank you. Hello Libra. For you, the Aquarius full moon on the 1st of August occurs in your 5th house. Now the sun will be in the sign of Leo in your 11th house. So your 5th house and 11th house axis is illuminated during this time, Libras. Now 5th house is a house of personal passion. It's a house of creation. It's a house of children, your inner child, romance and love and all that. And 11th house is the house of your group association, collaboration and all that, your hopes and wishes and all that. So here, when a full moon occurs in your 5th house, which is all about, culmination, it's about realization, reflection. Here, there may be some kind of, creative venture or creative or passion projects maybe coming to an end, or you may be realizing how to best move forward, how to shift the energies in order to move forward, tackle or handle your creativity in a more productive way. So definitely here you may be ending up creative venture or passion project, or you may be just more focused, or have a better understanding of how you want to creatively express yourself. So definitely it's a good time to look into your passion projects, your creative projects that you're working upon, Libras. Now 5th house is also the house of love and romance. So here there can be a heightening of love affairs, maybe new flings, maybe you're wanting to date and all that, or any kind of romance or connection coming your way during this time. You may want to take on a new level or exciting level, and you may be wanting to go out and have fun and all that during this time. So it's a very enthusiastic and passionate time. You're feeling very playful, and you want to really focus on what brings you joy, what brings you gratification, because 5th house is a heart-centered house. So here, whatever you desire, your heart's desires are is coming to light during this time. You are letting your inner child out during this time, Libras. You are very carefree. Now, it's a good time also to connect with your children. So definitely, if you have children, do spend time with them, connect with them, have a great time with them, playful time, recreational time, and all that. And this is going to really bring you joy a lot. Jupiter is in the sign of Taurus, and it's in your 8th house. Taurus is your 8th house, Libras. So Jupiter will be squaring the full moon in your 5th and 11th house. Now 8th house is a house of shared values and shared resources. So there could be some kind of money situation, or maybe you have to pay off a debt, or there's money worry or something that you may be overestimating yourself, or not giving full attention to it may come to focus, especially if you are spending a lot in terms of recreational activities or having fun, or with group association, friend circle, or with your children and all that. There may be some kind of aspect, your money aspect that can come into focus. So don't overestimate yourself. Do have a budget, have a savings plan. Don't overspend during this time, and keep an eye on your outgoings as well during this time, because there can be some kind of financial issues if you don't keep an eye on where your money is going and how you're receiving. This can really affect your sense of security and stability if you're overspending in having fun and doing fun activities and going out and doing exciting things, Libras. So just be mindful of that. Thank you. Scorpios, for you, the Aquarius full moon on 1st of August occurs in your 4th house. Now, it is Leo season, so the sun is in your 10th house in the sign of Leo. So your 4th house and 10th house axis is in focus during this time, Scorpios. Now, 4th house is the house of home and family, and 10th house is your career house. So your career house and your family dynamic is illuminated during this time. So there's a need for reflection and readjustment, or some kind of understanding, awareness around your home and family matters during this time, and you may have to balance it out with your career matters. So here you may be finishing a project around your house, maybe a DIY or home improvement, renovation, or just decoration. You may be kind of finishing a project around the house, or you could also be settling a family dispute or family issues during this time. So definitely your focus is going to be a lot on home and family matters. And this is a good time to reflect on your emotional self as well, because 4th house is also the house of your emotional foundation, your childhood conditioning, your patterns from the past, especially your emotional patterns from the past. So here again, there's a need to balance these matters and also settle any emotional issues within yourself that you might have, especially in terms of people you live with, your family members, your spouse, children, whomever you live with. Your home condition is in focus. So you're definitely kind of settling or reflecting or releasing things that is not serving you anymore during this time. So definitely it's a good time for readjustment and reflection. Now, with the sun in the 10th house, you are definitely balancing your home and professional life during this time. So do not ignore one for the other during this time. Try to find a balance, and it's a good time also to really focus on your emotional well-being during this time. Inner contentment is kind of more important during this time than external validation, Scorpios. So do spend time alone as well, detach yourself and really reflect within yourself, especially if you get overwhelmed. And this can be due to family situation or job situation, career situation. If you get overwhelmed with either of the situation, it's a good idea to detach yourself and take a break and just spend time in solitude and just reflect on your own emotional self, balance your emotional self during this time. Now, Scorpios, this is a good time also to reflect on your life direction and your just general life direction. This is not to do with your career matters. It's also to do with your emotional matters, your home situation, your family situation, where you're heading in life. Where do you want to go? Is the path right for you? Are you on the right path? This is a good time to evaluate all that as well, because 4th house is a very karmic house, because it deals with our roots, it deals with our childhood, the growing up years. So the growing up years has a very profound effect on the person we become as adults. So here definitely you are releasing any past pattern, any subconscious pattern, any childhood conditioning that may be holding you back, Scorpios, and you want to release those patterns and find a balance within yourself, and reflect on your life direction, where you're heading. So where you're coming from and where you're heading, this is a good time to reflect on all these matters. Now, Jupiter is in the seventh house, in the sign of Taurus, in your seventh house, and Jupiter will be squaring the full moons. So the Sun and Leo in your 10th house, and the Moon in Aquarius in your fourth house. So your seventh house is your relationship house. So Jupiter in the seventh house may bring some kind of over optimism or enthusiasm or overestimation where your partnership is concerned or your social interaction is concerned. This can be personal or business interaction. So there may be a sense of overestimation, especially how you deal with conflict, maybe, or family dynamic or relation dynamic. So if there are any disagreements or conflict, you may be overestimating your capability of resolving these matters. So it's important to really go within and really spend time within yourself. If matters gets too much for you, or you're overwhelmed with relationship dynamics, family dynamics, career dynamics, and all that, it's really good time to really detach and really reflect on your own emotional state, Scorpios. Thank you. Hello, Sagittarius. For you, the Aquarius full moon on the 1st of August occurs in your third house. Now, third house is a house of communication and connection. Now, it is Leo season, so Sun is in the sign of Leo in your ninth house. So your third house and ninth house axis is illuminated during this time. Now, ninth house is all about exploration. It's your belief system, your faith, your spirituality, the need to travel, the need to explore and have an adventure and all that. So here during the full moon in Aquarius, your third house, which is your logical and your rational mind, is illuminated. So you're making decision based more on your logical side rather than your intuitive side during this time, Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius, you are a sign of intuition, you're a sign of wisdom. So you may be philosophizing any kind of decision that you want to make, or you may be kind of really looking deeper within yourself as well, your gut instinct and all that before making a decision. But during this full moon on the 1st of August, it's important also to look at the rational side of things, logical side of things, the practical side of things as well before you make a decision. Now, third house is also a house of siblings, or your local community, your images surrounding your neighbor and all that. So here, if there are any kind of disputes or any issues regarding these matters, this is a good time to put an end to it, resolve it, and reconnect with these relationship, with these community aspects, your neighbor, your siblings and all that. So this is a good time to reconnect with them and really reflect on these relationship and release anything that's keeping you stuck or you holding you back. Now, this can be either way. Maybe you are releasing yourself from these dynamics and moving forward, or you're resolving these dynamics and moving forward. So it can be either way. Now, third house is also the house of your local environment and community projects and all that. So you may be finishing a community project during this time. Maybe you're releasing any communal responsibilities during this time, Sagittarius. Now, do make changes to improve your close environment during this time. So if your immediate environment is toxic or is not helping you grow, it's important to release any dynamic within your local environment. Now, this can be also the way you connect with people or the way you communicate with people. So if you are communicating in a kind of a way that is toxic, or if people are communicating with you that is toxic, it's a good time to reflect on these matters and release these matters. It's very important to focus on your personal improvement, especially in the way you communicate with people. Now, you may have hard time getting your point across during this time, or understanding other people. So whatever you want to say, Sagittarius, during this time, you may find it difficult to really put your words out there, and people may not fully understand where you're coming from, or you may have difficulty making other people see your viewpoint during this time. So all this can really overwhelm you during this time. So if there is any kind of relationship or connection that is overburdening you, it's good time to take a step back, detach yourself, and really reflect, go within, and just isolate yourself, regulate yourself, and release any unhealthy patterns, Sagittarius. So just be mindful of these energies. Now you may also be overworking during this time, because third house is a house of mental pursuits. So you may be really really pursuing something, chasing, or overworking, overextending yourself during this time. So just be mindful of not to overwork and stress yourself during this time. So do prioritize what you want to spend your energy on during this time, and don't overstress yourself with people and connections and work and all those things. Now Jupiter is in the sign of Taurus and in your sixth house, which is the work and health house. Now this Jupiter will be squaring the full moon in your third and ninth house. So here Jupiter in the sixth house is again means you are overworking. You may be taking on too much work, and this can really stress you as well, make you feel overwhelmed, and you may not be focusing on your health matters during this time. So it's very important to not overstress yourself, overwork yourself. Maybe find a productive way of doing things, organizing yourself, sorting out things, your routines. If you've got too many things to do in a day, it's good to delegate stuff to other people, or just kind of organize yourself in a way that you're not stressing yourself, because sixth house is also the house of your mind, body, and soul, and taking care of it. It's a house of physical health and all that. So definitely overworking during this time, connecting, communicating with people, community and all that, can definitely lead to a burnout. So just be mindful of this energy during this time, Sagittarius. Thank you. Capricorn, for you, the Aquarius full moon occurs in your second house. Now, second house is the house of your personal finance and your value system. Now, it is Leo season, so the sun is in the sign of Leo in your eighth house, which is the house of your shared values and shared resources. So here, the second house and eighth house, which is the money axis, is in focus. So a full moon in the second house can affect your finances, your money making capabilities, or your savings, or your resources and all that, Capricorn. So be mindful of these energies. Now you may be finishing paying off something during this time as well, or completing a financial project, or there may be changes in earnings. So maybe it's going up or going down. So you may be finding different streams of income during this time, or changing your job, which is higher paying. So there can be some change in dynamic where your personal finance is concerned. Now you may also indulge during this time, overspend. So just be mindful of not spending the money that you don't have, or at least saving and having a budget, having a personal savings plan, so that you're not overspending. And just watch out, don't indulge, budget and all that. Now this is a good time also to evaluate your sense of self-worth. Now a sense of self-worth is not based on your possessions, or how much you earn, or how much you own. It's based on your talents, your capabilities, your skills. So here there's a need to have a prosperity mindset more than a poverty mindset, Capricorn. So trust your instinct, trust your skills, capabilities, your talents to make more money, and don't hoard money during this time. Now obviously there's a need to not overspend and not overindulge, but there's also not to over attach yourself with possessions and objects during this time. So do look into ways of making more money, and also not to put your sense of self-worth on the material aspects of life. So there's a need to clearly define what you own, possess, and what you don't own or what you don't need during this time. And definitely not to put your value, your sense of self-worth, in the amount of cash you have in the bank. Now this is a good time also to evaluate what your needs are, what you need to feel secure, stable, safe and comfortable, Capricorns. Now Jupiter is in the fifth house in the sign of Taurus, and it will be squaring the full moon. Now fifth house is a house of creativity, it's a house of enjoyment, it's a house of your children, your inner child, having fun and all that. So here you may be spending money, having fun, doing recreational activity and all that, and that can also have some kind of effect on your money matters. So do have fun, do enjoyable things, take a break, spend time with your children, or have fun with whomever you want to have fun with, but do keep an eye on your money matters as well. Have a budget plan, and really regulate yourself in terms of what you're spending, how you're spending, and where it's going, Capricorn. Thank you. Aquarius, for you, the full moon in Aquarius occurs in your sign, in your first house. So on the 1st of August, the full moon will be in your first house. Now, first house is a house of self. It's a house of your personal life direction, your life path, how you project yourself, your overall health, your personal appeal, and all that. Now, it is Leo season, so the sun is in the sign of Leo in your 7th house, which is your opposite sign. So your first house and 7th house axis is illuminated during this time. Now, Aquarius, there is a lot of focus on relationship, but during this full moon on the 1st of August, there's a special emphasis on yourself, how you project yourself, what you think of yourself, how you want to present yourself, your behavior, your mannerisms, your priorities, all these matter. So there's a need to evaluate yourself during this time, in order to grow, in order to develop, in order to, do things that you want to do. There's a need to have a self evaluation during this time. Figure out what you want, figure out your life priorities during this time, Aquarius, and also figure out what you want in your life in terms of relationship, in terms of energies, situations, people, places, whatever. What do you want to keep in your life, and what you want to release during this time? And the main focus is definitely on yourself during this time. So what do you want to release within yourself, Aquarius? What mannerism, behaviors that is not helping you grow? So this is a good time for self-reflection. Your needs, your wants, the other people's needs and wants and all that is definitely is a good time to do that. So do blend your needs with others. Now, don't be too needy, definitely, but do try to find a balance between what you desire and what other people needs are in your life. Now, you may feel your emotions are very intense during this time. So you could have emotional reaction during this time to things. So just be mindful of this tendency with this first house full moon. So think through things clearly and don't react. Also, your perspective may be influenced by your emotional self, your sensitive side, your feelings and all that. So just be mindful of that, Aquarius. Now, Jupiter is in the sign of Taurus during this full moon and in your 4th house, and from there it will be squaring the full moon. So 4th house is the house of your home and family matters, and it will be squaring yourself and your relationship during this time. Now, Jupiter in 4th house brings a lot of enjoyment, a lot of good energy to your emotional state, and your home and family matters. You may be prospering, you may be very much content internally, all that. So this is all good energy, but just be mindful because it is at a square aspect, and there could be some tendency of overestimating oneself, or there may be changes in your mood and taste during this time. Your emotional state could all be in a flux. There may be a sense of overconfidence during this time, or especially in unwanted situation during this time. So there can be a lot of amplification in terms of your emotional state, your mood, your taste, and all that. So there can be some kind of impulsiveness where your home and family matters is concerned, your relationship is concerned, and just your sense of self, your own goals, your life direction, and all that is concerned. Your health matter as well, because first house is the house of overall health. So there can be some kind of overindulgence as well, because you're feeling very content at home. You may be overindulging, maybe food or spending a lot of money around the house, and that can have a kind of a effect on your overall life. So just be mindful of budgeting and not overspending, not overindulging. Obviously, if you want to buy something that you've been waiting for a long time, it's a great time to do that, but just be mindful of your overall emotional state and not spend money on yourself, relationship, or home situation just because you feel an emotional need to spend during this time, during this Aquarius full moon. Aquarius, thank you. Pisces, for you, the Aquarius full moon occurs in your 12th house. Now, 12th house is a house of your subconscious self. It's a house of isolation. It's a house of past patterns. It's a house of, it's a hidden house. So it has this secretive element to it. Now, it is Leo season. So the sun is in the 6th house, which is the house of work and health. So your 6th house and 12th house axis is in focus during this time. Now, 6th and 12th house is the axis of service, of health, physical health, mental health, and all that. So here definitely your mental health, your need, your healing, your subconscious problems, patterns, old traumas, all these are definitely in focus during this time. So definitely with this full moon in 12th house, there's a need to deal with subconscious issues. So it's a good time for therapy. If you get some therapy, some help regarding yourself, your emotional state, especially if there are any past traumas and all, this is a good time to do that. And don't suppress your emotions during this time, because that could lead to more problems or a complete breakdown as well, Pisces. So definitely it's a good idea to deal with your emotions, ask for help if you need help, and any subconscious pattern that you may have kept buried, this is time to release them in order to have a better sense of fulfillment and inner peace and satisfaction, Pisces, going forward. So do release any unhealthy patterns, and if there are any hidden feelings or matters that can resurface at any point, this is a good time to get in touch with yourself, your emotional self, your subconscious side and all that. And do release any internal issues, work on your internal issues, do the inner work and deal with them in order to heal, Pisces, so that you can have a better quality of life going forward, better relations, better connections with yourself and others and all that. So do reflect, dig deeper, and also it's a good time to recharge and spend time alone as well. So you want to stay in the background in isolation. Maybe it's a good time to retreat, go on a vacation somewhere where you can retreat and spend time away from limelight, away from connection. There may be a desire to do that, and it will only help you. It will help you regulate your physical self, your health, your mental health and all that. So that could also add to the healing process, Pisces. Now, 12th house is house of your subconscious self, so also the house of your dream state, your dream world and all that. So you may be getting vivid dreams during this time. Just don't make the mistake of confusing your dreams into reality. So your dreams are dreams, it's not reality, but you may get some kind of downloads or kind of intuition regarding how to move forward, how to heal yourself. So definitely it's a good time to relax, retreat, don't stress, and really focus on your subconscious issues, and do ask for help if you need it. Now, Jupiter is in the sign of Taurus during this full moon and in your third house. Now, from there, Jupiter will be squaring the full moon. So the sun and moon in Leo and Aquarius, your 12th and 6th house axis. Now, third house is the house of communication and connection, your local environment and all that. So here definitely you may be connecting a lot with your local environment. Maybe you're networking too much, you're too much involved in communal responsibilities around the house, local environment and all that, and that can add to the stress and of daily life, what you do on a daily basis, because 6th and 12th house is the axis of service. So you may be really engaging in a lot of activities, and that can stress you as well. So it's very important to relax and take a break during this time, Pisces. Thank you.